Midnight Talks. I'm your host, Jill.
And I'm Shay, and tonight on Midnight Talks, we're diving into the deep waters of dating horror stories.
Yes. I was reading some of these, and some of you guys even commented, and they're a little crazy. So I think Shay got some really good ones because she told me, and I believe her, and I'm just ready to hear all these stories.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I know you've said you got some good stories as well, so I'm so ready to get into these. These stories are about to take us out like Crash Bandicoot. Whoa!
Is that your new word for the episode that the girls
It's my,
wanted you to say?
yeah, it's my new phrase, I have to say.
Have you played the trilogy?
Yeah, I'm actually playing that right now. I'm actually on the third one.
Nice.
Replaying through again, so yeah, I beat the other two.
I'm depressed because I can't find my crash. It's either at my mom's house or I don't know. So hopefully,
Oh no!
I know. I was like, I think about a month ago, I was rifling through my games and I was like, where's my Crash Bandicoot? So I was really sad, but hopefully we can find it.
Gotta find it. Gotta find it.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're playing that. Such a fun game. I started playing on the PS2.
Yeah, it's a great game. It pisses me off to no end though. Not
Oh
gonna
my
lie.
gosh. I have I have streams of me pissed.
Yeah,
Pissed. I'm just like, this stupid fucking game. Because I
yeah,
guess,
every time.
like the fall, like the zoning for like the landing, like
Pisses me off.
yeah, one of the ones I was playing. And that's how I feel with like some of the older games. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on the older games. I love them so much. But when I play like Sonic Unleashed, like there's like the weird zoning, and the same thing for the
Yeah.
Lego games. I'm like, guys, I'm either just I guess I'm garbage or like it's an old game, so I get it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Every time I play that game, I rage, and then everyone's like, "Oh, you should be a streamer because it's funny when you rage." But I'm like, y'all really want that? Because I'll probably break my computer if I start doing Crash Bandicoot. You know?
That is so real, bro. Yeah, that was like really hard for me with Rainbow Six Siege because I was streaming a lot of it for hours on end, and I was trying not to be a cussing streamer, but you also had me playing a competitive ass game. So, like, it's difficult. Like, I'm trying to keep it PG, but like, fuck that game. Like, but I still play it. I literally played it last weekend. I played it for like 4 hours, I think. I was up till like 2:30 in the morning, and I played ranked. This guy had the audacity to message me and said, "Get carried, LOL." I
Oh
said,
my gosh.
I said, "Fuck you, lol." I was so mad, bro. I was like, no way. This guy had the audacity.
If I became a streamer, like ever, I definitely probably would be a cussing one because I don't know. I get real rage when I'm gaming.
Yeah, I felt that. I felt that deep in my soul. Wow. Yeah, I miss streaming. Guys, I do streaming. I don't really talk about it on here because, like, I like to keep it to the pod, but I will start streaming in the future, um, probably next year. And I'm also an artist. I know I mentioned that in the beginning of like our first episode. So I will also start back on my art stuff. But I will be making me and Shay Midnight Talks merch. So if you guys are interested, let us know like what kind of shirts, what kind of vibes you guys want. Obviously, we want midnight vibes, but it's definitely in the works. So just like let us know, if you guys want merch or not.
Yeah, let us know because that would be great. Also, I actually did make myself a little merch. I have a pop socket with Midnight Talks. That's always cute. Yeah,
Can you make me one? I want one.
I can make you. I have to show it to you actually, but I got it today, so um,
No. Oh my, can you turn well, no, I guess it's okay. You can show me when we in the episode.
yeah, I'll send it to you.
I'd
But
love to see it.
I can make you one. I don't know if you'll like it. It's just simple because my gosh, why is my camera blurry? I just got a new iPhone. That
Y'all, I just want to say rest in peace, Ozzy, and rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. I can't believe we lost two legends in 1 week.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, and then we lost Malcolm Jamal Warner from the Cosby Show. I don't know if you ever watched that.
I didn't watch The Cosby Show growing up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My
Mm-mm.
manager told me about this guy. She said she was devastated that he passed away. So sorry, guys. We lost three legends this year. I mean, this week. This week.
This week alone.
He died so young, 54? Holy cow.
Yeah, I was like, that's so sad. It is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy. 2025, what?
It's so wild to me, bro. Okay. All right. Are we ready to get into these horror stories? Ah!
I'm ready. I'm so glad I'm not in the dating scene.
I know.
Because some of these are terrifying.
I know. I was reading these. I was like, thank God I'm getting married this year. Because, like, no.
Yeah, literally. All right, first story we have Facebook dating horror story. So, I have a friend who is in her late 30s and an elementary school teacher. She had broken up with her boyfriend and went on Facebook dating to get back out there. Big mistake. She met this man who owned a bed and breakfast inn in the middle of nowhere in the NC Mountains. For reference, me and my friend are both from North Carolina, 4 hours away from the mountains in our state. And he offered her a free weekend stay to get to know one another, and even let her bring her dog with her. He did ask if she had a credit card on file, which I thought was weird considering he said it was a free stay. Anywho, she got there that Friday evening and they had dinner and got to know each other. He was saying she could invite a couple of her friends up there too. Things went south very quickly. That Saturday, he moved on her too aggressively, calling her babe and baby. Mind you, she has known this guy less than 24 hours. She kept trying to get me to drive up there and hang out with them. I did not think it was a good idea at all. After she refused to consent to some things, if you get my drift, he went ballistic and went on this rampage, destroying one of the rooms, ripping pillows apart, and turning furniture over. He then yelled out, I am charging a $500 damage fee to your credit card on file. He abruptly left the room, all because she didn't want to consent to things she was not comfortable doing. Mind you, it was snowing in the mountains, pretty hard too, and she was texting me trying to get me to drive up there and rescue her. I was terrified. In the middle of that evening, she left, escaping at 1 a.m. with the dog in tow, and when she arrived back home early that Sunday morning, filed a police report against the man. Few months later, he was arrested for an unrelated charge. Let this serve as a lesson to not meet random people from online in the rural mountains at a sketchy hotel.
I mean, I could have been the first one to tell her not to go.
Same.
If I was the friend, I would have been encouraging her not to go.
Honestly, same. Like, that was a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly, like, the first red flag, the credit card. Like,
Credit card?
I'd be like, why do you need my credit card on file? You're inviting me over for a date. No, bye.
Yeah, exactly. Free. Said it was free at that. Free
Yeah.
stay.
Yeah. I wonder what the unrelated charge was.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, that could be terrifying depending on what it was. I wish we knew more. So, I don't know.
Wild story. Off to a great start.
Yeah, really.
So, Shay actually posted on r/Bumble. It's a like friend relationship dating app. I'm gonna read all the comments because they're pretty short. So this is what's the most horrifying dating experience you've had? So this person commented, she invited me to her house, she let me in, and I had to use the restroom right away. Kind of embarrassing, I think. Anyways, I came back out and saw her in the kitchen eating raw bacon. Straight out of the package. I thought to myself, holy fucking shit, I need to get out of here right now. And that's exactly what I did.
Ew, like raw bacon.
I could not imagine. So someone said, wait. So you walk in, you catch her in the act, then what? Did
Did she see that you saw her? This does sound like a weird eating disorder, to be honest, but I can't decide why would she do that after a date, and with the date nearby, it sounds so compulsive. Um, so this person said, I tried my best not to judge, but she looked right at me and kept chewing. I could see it in her eyes, no regard for human life. Got the fuck out of there so fast. I didn't say anything to her.
I don't blame them. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what I'd do if I walked in and someone was just throwing down some raw bacon. I would probably
I
gag and like cry.
I would have probably asked them like why, right?
I'm running. You're brave. I'm like, I'll probably be gagging too much. Like, ew, like slimy and just ew.
Well, when you put it like that, that sounds. Ugh.
See, yeah, I would be like, ooh, just no. Like, I know that some
Raw
people like
bacon's
eat raw stuff like that, but like,
cook it a little bit. Throw it on the pan. Flip, flip.
I would,
Cook it.
yeah, if you like it, soggy, then just cook it for a little bit.
We had another comment of their dating experience. It says, first date, made it clear right off the bat that I wasn't going to sleep with him. He tried to get me drunk and got increasingly aggressive. I left, but it turned out he followed me about 2 streets away from my house. He body slammed me into a wall, pulled my hair, and bit my throat before I managed to twist away and run home. He texted me a week later asking if I'd like a second date.
That is terrifying, and I am so thankful that she was able to get away because that could have been so bad. And he wanted a second date just to like probably do way worse. Like
The
I can't.
audacity to text her and say, "Oh, so like second date, like that first one went really good." No, back the fuck up.
Yeah, like are you okay, sir? No. Uh-uh.
That's wild. Like that is uh I came up with a new term last year. It'll come to me. Give me loony bin behavior.
Oh yeah, you did coin the
Loony.
loony bin behavior.
Yes. Yeah, we're throwing that guy loony bin category, okay?
Yep, loony bin.
Yeah, we should have a scale rating for these loony bin behavior.
Thank
Okay, so we did post another like most horrifying experience. Someone commented something really juicy and I want to read it, but I should wait. But I'm
you.
like, damn, I'm reading this. I'm like, that's crazy. What do I do?
You want me to say a story and then you read the juicy
Yeah.
content after?
Yeah.
Okay. This is gonna come with a trigger warning for all my insect haters. The what's the insect phobia called? Wait, I know
I
like
thought you were I thought you were using the word insect for code word incest. I was like, what?
no like actual bugs. Okay.
That's so funny. I was like, why is she saying insect?
no like actual bugs. I didn't.
Arachnophobia, that's for spiders.
That's for spiders. What is it? Entomophobia. That's what it's called.
Okay. All right.
Okay, this is for these people, so trigger warning you. It's only because they trigger warned it. The OP actually trigger warned the insect thing,
That's so funny.
which I thank you because I am terrified of bugs. If you know me and you've heard some of our stories on here, like
It's true.
i.e. me getting a spider on my shirt. Oh,
Literally
you know
scream
that
Bloody Mary, bro.
throwing my clothes off in the kitchen, you know that I'm scared of bugs, okay?
Everybody
Okay,
in the
so
neighborhood knows you're scared of bugs.
yeah, and they didn't even try to call the cops. They weren't gonna come help me. Nothing. They said let her die.
Nobody. Yeah, honestly, they're like, it's Shay again.
Whatever. Like she always screaming over something. I'm scared of bugs. Okay. Damn.
You and everybody in that family, like on y'all's side, terrified. I don't know about your mama. Scared of bugs?
No, she ain't.
So
She'll
it's just you
smash
and
a
your
bug.
sister.
Yeah, now I don't know. My sister's gotten a lot braver because the other
Nah,
when I
bro.
was
I'll never
yeah when I
forget
was
that time I was in the car with her and what?
I was like trying to figure out which one you're gonna talk about.
Oh, it's when me and her were in the car and we were with your mom's sister and we were going to the grave and literally she looks over, she starts screaming Bloody Mary because there's a little bug on the seat beside her. Your aunt had to pull over and me and your sister had to switch seats.
That would be me. I'm so
Yeah, it would be.
no, that is so funny to me. When she was a kid, she literally screamed bloody murder because there was a little tiny like gnat bug on her window, and I was like, "Girl, it's a freaking the size of a
I feel
freaking
so
pin."
stupid. I've been meaning to say bloody murder.
Yeah, you say Bloody Mary. I was gonna be like, is that her like what she says, Bloody Mary?
No, no. I'm silly in the brain.
Bloody Mary. Don't be saying that 3 times now up in the mirror.
I
Like
know,
the
I know. I had all my lights off. I said it. I turned my lights on. I said I'm okay.
oh my gosh, that's funny.
God is good. God is here in my presence.
He is there, and just don't go by a mirror right now. I'm just joking.
My fiance just bought me a big mirror for my birthday and it's set up in the house, so don't terrify me.
Oh, is that the one? Okay, is that the one you? I like.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I like it a lot. I need that actually.
It's really nice. It already came like pre-built and everything.
Yeah, I need one of those seriously. But
Okay.
on onto the bugs.
Yeah.
Not ready. Okay. Went to a girl's house last night for a first date. She just started at my job. Definitely not my type and a bit older than me. Whatever. I just wanted to get laid. Hey, at least you're honest, right? She seemed to be of the same mindset. Talked for a few days, then I went to her trailer last night. OMG. I could smell the ammonia from the cat piss as soon as I stepped out of the car. I was hoping that they just dumped the litter box and went inside. Nope. The whole house smelled like fresh cat piss. It was intolerable. So I walked into the living room and set the pizza I brought on the counter. And that is when I noticed the German cockroaches everywhere. One word flashes in my head. Nope. I look at her and she's bent up over cleaning cat shit from the floor. Like, why would you invite anyone over to this shit? Why are you just now cleaning up animal feces when you knew I would be coming over all day? My mind is racing at this point with excuses as to why I need to leave. Eventually, I settle on, hey, I forgot something in the car. I'll be right back. So I walk back outside, this time looking around more intently. The walls, floors, and furniture are teeming with tiny roaches. I get in my car and speed off. I send a text basically saying, hey, I'm sorry, but I just can't handle roaches. Also, I couldn't breathe. Have a good night. She messages back with, I'm in the process of getting rid of the bugs. I don't know what smell you're talking about. What? Bullshit. First of all, you don't just get rid of an infestation like that. Shit's a whole process. And if you're at the point where you can't smell the cat piss anymore, then I feel very sorry for you and your 15-year-old son who has to live in that filth as well. She asked if we can hang out elsewhere. I haven't given her an answer. It's no, obviously. Now that I've seen how you live, I want literally nothing to do with you. When I got home, I immediately stripped and pulled all my clothing into scalding hot water and soap, then sprayed down the inside of my car with cleaner. Traumatizing.
I literally don't know what you would do if that was you.
I, I don't
That
know. Like,
is your worst nightmare. That story is like horrific for you. I mean, I would also be freaking the fuck out. But like yikes, dude. Yikes. I honestly would have just looked at her and said I can't do this and walked away.
I don't know what I'd do. That is my worst nightmare. I can't handle smells and I can't handle bugs. and both things are gonna send me into a crazy frenzy where I'm probably just gonna run out there vomiting and screaming and throwing my clothes off in the yard because I'm not doing it. Everyone in the vicinity will hear my screams. Just like that one night when the spider was on my shirt. I am not doing it, and I do not blame this man. I don't blame him. And coming home and stripping for one, I would not take my clothing into that house. In my house,
I'm
no,
dead.
I am
Dead.
not. I will, no,
Actually, Shay would throw her clothes away.
I will. No, because those things can, like, you, like, multiply so fast. Like, uh, it's my worst nightmare. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight for real.
And be about freaking crawlies and cat piss.
Creepy crawlies and cat piss, and
Dude,
she lives with her 15-year-old son. Like, oh my
that's like
god.
one of my worst. Like, I hate the smell of cat piss. I mean, I feel like everyone does, but like, I just have such an intolerance for it that if I come into your house and it smells like cat piss, I might be a little upset because I'm not trying to be judgmental, I swear, y'all. I just don't like the smell, and I feel like it's a fair thing to say. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know about the
it's
internet
fair.
anymore.
Yeah, so that's a fun fact about me, and I don't like bugs, and I never want to hear this story again. Glad you made it out, OP. Um, Now you know, if you smell cat piss when you're walking up, you just might as well turn around.
I would. I 100% would. Okay, this next one. Very long time ago, I went on a first only date with a woman I met online. When I showed up to pick her up, she was playing Eyes Wide Shut on a TV in her bedroom. Cool, whatever. We go out, have a nice time. Go back to her place, and she invites me to her bedroom, where she resumes the movie during the most exciting scenes. If you know, you know. No clue what that. Okay. He said, we start kissing and getting a little heated. Then she excuses herself to go to the bathroom. She emerges completely naked. It was like a scene from a movie I always wanted to play out in real life. She gets back into bed, and we get back to what we were doing. Then she stops, says she has something to tell me.
Why'd you stop?
I'm jaw dropped.
Oh my, what is it?
She said, I have genital herpes.
No.
Speechless. I'm speechless.
What? That's a turn of events.
I internally freaked out while externally losing all attraction I had previously felt. Things quickly fizzled and I left. The next day, she sent me an email saying that I must be gay because I didn't want to have sex with her.
Um, I
Ma'am,
don't
I
think
don't think
that.
that's how that goes.
Yeah, that's crazy for one. Also, I had to look up the film because I don't know what the heck it is either. Apparently, it's a um erotic mystery psychological drama film.
Oh,
About
I-
some masked orgy. Okay, well that's crazy for one to have that playing during your date, but I guess maybe not if you're into that shit. But then to
this looks
say you have
so culty and weird.
I was like, I've never heard of this film. Like, I don't know why it made me think it was a horror movie because like Eyes Wide Shut. It sounds like I'm like, okay, she's watched some scary horror movie like gore, but no, it's um.
This is so Scientology pilled because I think Tom Cruise is a Scientologist, right?
I have zero clue. I think maybe, but that is the craziest film. I just I want to
Wow.
unlearn unlearn that.
Yeah, I was literally jaw dropped when I read that sentence. I was like, no way, that's real.
Hey, at least she told him. I mean, they could have gotten down and then she told him after, or he could find out later.
Oh,
So
I would have been mortified if I was him and I found out after.
I wouldn't even know, like, that is crazy. And no, no. I don't blame him for getting the heck out of there.
Yeah. That was just wild reading that story.
Yeah, when you went silent, I was like, you're leaving me in suspense. I'm on a cliffhanger
I'm
here.
glad I did, because the suspense was definitely needed.
Yes, it was. I didn't quite expect it. Okay. So, this one is my first and last Reddit date. For one, I didn't even know you could be dating on Reddit, but okay. Cool. Kind of cool. Um, During my freshman year of university, about 4 years ago, I was quite tired and lonely because I didn't make any friends and my two majors were pretty overwhelming. To pass time, I was browsing Reddit quite often. I even submitted an ad to find people to talk to. I got several responses, mostly from the US, though one was from my European country. It surprised me a bit since not many people from there even know what Reddit is, but I was also glad I met someone local. This guy seemed cool. He worked for a global IT firm and played the piano, just like me. We talked, we exchanged a few emails, and it felt nice. Then one day, he told me that if I pass my last exam, we'll have a date. Quite pushy, right? I didn't want a date, to be honest, but I wanted to meet him. So when I left the exam hall and was sitting on a train home, I recalled his offer. He said he'd be in my hometown that day. First, I got home and tried to dress properly. I suddenly started to feel weak. I had a huge headache and I had to rest for a moment. I called the guy and told him I'd be a bit late. Then he said something like, "But don't think it'll be a date." Well, he didn't say it, he rather screamed it. Okay. She really put okay. That makes me think, who's did that? That's a character. South Park?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
It's a teacher.
Yeah, okay. Okay. My teacher actually used to do that, my biology teacher. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. I have ADHD, but yeah, we would count how many times he would do that. A class like tallied up.
I used to unironically say MK. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh
Like I
yes,
would
I
type it out.
quite remember.
That was my cat phase.
She's quirky.
Okay, all right, miss. I changed my hair color every 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay, back on topic. Promised I'd be there, so I arrived at the place and I saw him eating dinner alone. I sat next to him and he didn't even bother to ask me what I wanted. He was so cold, just like this February day, ironic and not nice at all. He simply said that I ruined his day by being 30 minutes late and that there is not a future for us. Then I realized how snobbish he was. Though being a relatively nice person, I try to make this evening better. I asked him if he wants to go to the cinema, museum, church, whatever. He said no, he only wanted to get to the train station. Remote train station that is not a main one. We started to walk towards the train station. It was dark, wintry, and our path wasn't lit at all. My high heels were covered in mud and I didn't really like it. We didn't talk at all because we were fed up with each other. So when we reached the station, I was relieved. I said goodbye and then he kissed me on my forehead. What the heck? Then I felt a bit better, a bit, because I had to get to the bus station on the other side of town. I had to take the same road we walked and it gave me chills. I was walking for a while when I heard a voice behind me. "Hey, miss." I turned around and saw three guys wearing hoodies. I started to walk faster and didn't answer. "Hey, miss, you lost something," I heard again, but I didn't turn this time. I didn't lose anything, no way. "Miss, wait," I heard again, and I sprinted, shouting, "No!" I agree, it was strange and difficult. High heels are not racing shoes by any means. They started to run after me. You don't even know how scared I was. At least I was close to the better lit area. I saw a tram station and an older woman standing there. Woman? I don't know how I come up with these freaking words. I saw a tram station and an older woman standing there. I rushed there and approached her. Then I saw these three men standing on the other side of the road. I know they were waiting for me. I called my friend who lived near. He said he was in dorms, but he'd get there ASAP. I was shaking, being watched by these three guys. I realized one was holding something glowing in the dark. Was it a knife? I don't think I want to know. My friend arrived. He's quite a big man. He tried to chase the guys, but they disappeared in the dark. He took me to the other train station building. We were sitting there for a while. I was trembling and crying, and he was holding my hand all the time. Then he gave me money for a cab, and I went home. My parents weren't happy about this. They said it was my fault. Was it really? I hope I'll never meet these men again. And you, my date? Well, I don't want to ruin your day again.
Red flag to the parents for blaming it on her because she not allowed to walk around in her country where she doesn't have to feel unsafe. Like, fuck you for that. I hate that
Yeah.
when people blame it on the other person. Like, you think I just wanted to be stalked? You think I wanted that? I didn't ask for that.
No, that's ridiculous. Her parents need a reality check.
Sorry, it's like when I hear stuff like that, it actually makes me really angry.
Oh, same, because so many people think like that, and it's ridiculous. Like, I didn't ask to be chased by men, three men. Like, I was going out on my own, hoping to be safe in the city where I live, but unfortunately, that doesn't happen, so.
Yeah, that Um, I'm glad that this OP is safe and okay, and that you had a friend that was reliable. It does teach you to be cautious, but doesn't mean it's a lesson you had to learn. And I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're okay.
Same. Seems like your date was a jerk, and then what happened after was just terrible timing and definitely scary. But are you
I
okay?
wonder. Yeah, I dropped my phone. Sorry. I wonder if like her date had her set up.
That's what I was thinking the whole time after she said they were like following her. And that wouldn't be far off because he seems so distant and weird. And then that happened after he left her. Like, that's a little strange.
The kiss on the forehead.
Yeah, odd. Odd
It's like
behavior.
back the fuck up.
Yeah, the whole thing was odd. So I'm glad OP made it out just fine, besides her parents being complete idiots about the situation. So,
All right. I have a story that someone commented on our Tinder stories. The what's the most terrifying or sorry, what's the most horrifying date experience you've ever had? A couple of years ago, I went on a casual Tinder date to Shakespeare in the Park. Being the romance type but not wanting to overdo it, parentheses, and not having a car at the time, I took a lift over to her house and picked her up and offered her flowers with the cliche, very cheesy Shakespeare line to follow the mood of the night. Nothing too crazy, but thought enough to say that I'm into this like you and I want to have a good time. At the park, we walked around for a bit, making our way to the stage, and I placed out our blanket to sit on and a blanket to cover in as we watched. We went to the food trucks there and I bought food, parentheses, gentleman move for the first date, nothing too bizarre again. And we sat back in our area as we played commenced. As the play commenced. Hold on. I'm struggling. You gave me whatever you had because I cannot.
ain't no way you're blaming me.
We went to the food trucks there and I bought food, parentheses, gentleman move for the first date, nothing too bizarre. And we sat back in our area as the play commenced. Midway through this incredible play, I hear someone calling her name. We'll call her Beth. I just hear Beth, Beth, Beth. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I say, is that the girl calling your name? She said, oh shit, that's my sister. I said, oh, okay, cool, not thinking anything of it. Her sister just kind of walks in, up among us, everyone, and others as a play is in pursuit and was like, been texting and calling you, worried, trying to check on you during this date, making sure you aren't killed. Me filling all the stairs and the play deciding to use this as a good time for a break, decided to step away momentarily and fill some of the drinks as they talked. Eventually, they were good, and her sister stayed a little while longer, I guess to make sure, and we continued our date. After the play, we walked around the park some more, holding hands first, kiss vibes, and checking our momentums, and I'm silly. I'm silly. After the play, we walked around the park some more, holding hands, first kiss vibes, and checking out our monuments and statues before taking her home. The crazy part of the story, however, isn't the sister interrupting. Was her texting me once I got home and telling me how much fun she had, following it with a nice, I think I'm falling in love with you after the first date. I was beyond freaked, blocked her immediately. Parentheses, probably a dick move on my end, and we never spoke again. What I assumed was casual dating turned around quick for me.
Yeah, the fact that her sister not only like showed up and was being like a little psycho, saying you love someone after the first date is absolutely wild. Um, but yeah, I definitely don't blame them for never talking to them again because that would scare the shit out of me.
I couldn't imagine. I don't know how people say that. Like, can comfortably text or call or say that to someone's face. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I haven't been able to, like, wrap my head around that.
yeah, and I don't know, maybe they just catch feelings quick and think it's love, but
I'm
yeah,
sorry, but,
that's
like, a 5-hour date at most,
yeah.
I barely know anything about you.
Yeah, where your sister interrupted most of it. That's odd.
Yeah. I think I don't want to categorize it in loony bin behavior. We could just say, like, parental issues.
I'm gonna say a stage 5 clinger.
That's good. That's good. Put that on a t-shirt.
Stage 5 clinger?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Crazy girl. Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad you got out of that one. Oof.
Yeah, you dodged a bullet there.
100%.
Alright, so this next one. Tinder meetup gone wrong. Around March of 2014, I started talking to this girl on Tinder. She seemed cool. Oh my stupid self. What?
Tinder in 2014, same sentence as wild.
Yeah, that is wild. In that one it started, or I think we literally looked up this thing on this before when it started. I, it was
Wasn't that
like,
the story that one of the stories that we read with Julie? And we were trying to investigate in Google, like, when did Tinder come out?
yeah, because the wife told her husband, like, I downloaded Tinder all those years ago before we got married, and that was like 10 years ago. And we were like, did Tinder even come out then? But
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I don't remember when it came out. But I guess it was out around 2014, so. She seemed cool and fun, and after about a week of talking, these S's, seashells, Sally by the seashore, like holy shit,
I'm gonna kick your ass, buddy.
having braces is not for the weak with S's. You know this.
I know. I'm sorry.
Sally sells seashells. Fuck, I want these. I'm gonna take these braces off one by one right now.
I
Okay,
wish by she-show.
I got this. I have this. Okay.
Sorry, I understand. I do understand
Thank you. So don't kick my butt yet, okay? I'm trying to
that.
get through
You
it.
got it.
I got this. She seemed cool and fun, and after about a week of talking, she suggested we meet up in person. She invited me to this coffee shop, and I accepted. However, the day of, she started messaging me saying she had to tell me something. Her pictures on Tinder weren't actually of her, and yes, she was a guy. He claimed he really liked talking to me, though, and begged me to still meet up with him. Naturally, I declined. I blocked his profile and continued on with life. About a week later, I started talking to another girl. Once again, she seemed cool and fun, and we hit it off. She asked me if I spoke to people on Tinder frequently, and rather stupidly, I told her about my previous encounter with the man lady. Weeks later, I would realize that this new girl was the same girl as the week before. She asked me if I wanted to meet up, and I said sure, as long as it was in a public place. We decided on a cafe, and the next day I sat at the table waiting. 5, 10, 15 minutes had passed, and she was nowhere to be found. I then peered out the window and saw, from across the street, a man staring at me intently. I looked away, waited a few seconds, and looked back. He was still standing there, staring. At a point, I left the cafe, got on my bike, I always bike everywhere, and booked it home. I was definitely a little freaked out, but tried to pull myself together and reasoned that no one could have followed me. I then deleted my Tinder profile and things were normal for a few weeks. About 3 weeks later, I started getting phone calls. The numbers all showed up as unknown. I picked up the first few times to some guy breathing heavily into the phone. I was already a little freaked out. After about a day, I stopped picking up any calls unless it displayed the caller's name. I then started receiving texts. At first, they were pretty harmless, calls for attention and begging me to meet in person. It then changed to very sexual texts until eventually the messages became threatening and whoever was messaging me started throwing out my family and friends' names and whereabouts, saying he/she would get them involved unless I answered. Because they were texting me, I could see a displayed number, but when I called phone providers, they told me the number couldn't be traced and that it was probably a track phone. Great. I waited about 2 weeks, not responding to the text, thinking I shouldn't feed the troll, but eventually it became too much. I started getting upwards of 50 texts and phone calls a day. I would wake up to 10 to 20 texts every morning. I then decided to change my number altogether. The texting/calls stopped for a while, but sure enough, it started happening again. I called my phone provider asking if they ever gave out numbers at a user's request, and they said their policy stated that they wouldn't/couldn't unless valid identification was provided. Then one day, I tried logging into my Facebook, but was denied. Within a day, friends started contacting me, asking what the heck I was doing, saying that they were getting terrible messages from my account. In particular, one of my girlfriends was receiving messages about her mom who died years ago. I apologized profusely and told people what was going on. I contacted Facebook and explained the situation, and they helped me access my account again, at which point I deactivated it for a while. Enough was enough. I decided to contact the FBI, explaining what had been going on for over a month now. They documented everything, but told me since I or any of my relatives/friends were in no immediate danger, they probably wouldn't be able to do anything. At that point, I felt stuck. I thought about hiring a hiring a pirate. Arg, matey. Let me research this for you. I thought about hiring a private investigator or a hacker. I decided against it, however, I just hoped it would fade out if I never answered. I left my Facebook deactivated and ignored any text/phone calls. I never had any trouble at home, but some of my closest friends received the occasional text as well, which weirded us all out. I hated that they got dragged into it. One day I came home and things felt very eerie. Door unlocked, windows open, and no one home. A strong breeze running through the apartment. I did a check of the place and found nothing else weird, so I locked everything up and just waited for my roommates to get home. It's been almost 7 months now. The calls/texts have more or less stopped. I'll get an occasional text, but at most one every 2 weeks. At the peak of it, I was receiving almost 100 texts a day. It definitely affected my social/personal life. I became much more weary of the people around me and my surroundings. I just felt like I couldn't really focus on anything until this stopped. Work was difficult, though I tried to maintain my composure as best as I could. Everything was just weird. Life was weird. I've since stopped using all forms of dating apps/websites. Things are getting back to normal, and at this point, I just want to put it all behind me. I'm moving at the end of this year, so it'll be nice to have a fresh start in a new place. I'm not going to sit here and say that all dating apps are dangerous and no one should use them, but definitely cover your bases. Ask more questions before meeting someone, FaceTime them first, Skype, anything. I was naive about it, but I regret it. Be safe, stick to your friends, and try meeting new people in more traditional ways. Weird Tinder stalker, let's not meet.
That is actually one of the most horrifying stories I think we've read on this podcast.
Yes. Terrifying.
7 months of harassment, and you're still getting texts like that. To me, they're so bored, they're so obsessed, they're That is loony bin. That's way past loony bin behavior.
Way past loony bin. It was reminding me of like Catfish, the TV show, but
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say
crazy, like
that. Yeah.
yeah, like horror story Catfish. And you know what my fear is? He said he came home and like all the doors were unlocked, windows open, no one home. I'm afraid that the stalker got into the house and like placed cameras.
I didn't even think about that. Well, with this fresh start, thankfully, like, that was 2014, but hopefully they're not going through that anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure that they are not. Hopefully they have a much safer life now, but that is crazy, and that's exactly why people like have a fear of using dating apps and stuff like that because of that reason. And honestly, they put out a good message like make sure you cover your bases, ask more questions, FaceTime them, just be safe. That's the best thing that you can do. And meeting in a public place is definitely a the best idea, actually.
Yeah, that whole story was just obsessive and creepy, and I'm so sorry this happened to them. I could not imagine.
Yes, me too. I'm sorry that happened to the OP. But I'm glad that they are safe and hopefully safe now. But definitely something that will stay with you forever. Like very, very scary.
When was this story posted?
I think it was posted a long time ago because it said 2014, and then now it's like 7 months later from that, so they're probably 2015.
Wow. Crazy. If you click their account, are they active?
Okay, so it was 9 years ago, and that is the last time they posted.
I hate that. I actually.
What? Oh no.
I hope they're okay.
It's like they literally like once that happened, they were done. Someone did comment and say, "Did you check your apartment for cameras?" Um, they they said he doesn't know if they actually came to the apartment. But they said the whole thing is behind him now, so I don't know. How did the person know like all their login information, all their like friends and family? Like they had to be a deep stalker.
That's what I was thinking too. I wonder if it was like someone he grew up with.
Yeah, I've like seen that on Catfish where it's like someone that they grew up with and cat but wouldn't he like oh I guess maybe not if they were younger and then they grew up and didn't recognize each other. I don't know.
Definitely a possibility. So,
Looney bin.
yeah. I have a crazy story. I've only read bits and pieces, but I think this one's gonna be nuts.
I'm so ready.
Okay. Y'all, this title. I went on a date with a horrifying anti-Jewish man. So I, 18 female, hung out with a guy, 21 male, who had set me up 3 times before, but I was really bored and lonely. My actual crush said he felt like he was entering a depressive episode and I didn't want to bother him, so I gave this other guy a shot. He picked me up immediately, threw me off. He looked strange, nothing really like his photo, but whatever. We didn't really have a plan. I already felt super uncomfortable, but I decided to give it a try anyway. He drove to a gas station to do ever what he could. He drove to a gas station to do whatever he needed to do. Then I said we should totally go to Dave and Buster's. He said might as well, so we went. He blew $40 on tickets, but we ended up giving the car to some kids because, in his words, I don't want anything. That part was fine, but after, he actually started acting really weird. Oh my god. He kept joking about killing us while we were driving and swerving. At one point, he was driving with his knees and had both hands above his head. I don't know if he thought it was impressive or what, but I stared at my phone, pretending not to notice because I'm already so uncomfortable. Then he parked at a local park. completely locked and said, "Oh man." I told him, "Of course it's locked. It's a town park and it's late." So he just sat there, parked, and I could feel that he was trying to make a move. I stayed glued to my phone, knowing exactly what he wanted, and eventually I suggested that we head downtown, which is near my place. He said okay, but once again started swerving, speeding, and driving with no hands. I was so unbelievably uncomfortable. Kept dropping hints that I wanted to go home, but he wasn't picking up on any of them. We got downtown and he said that he needed a smoke break. So we parked in front of the smoke shop and went inside to buy a cart while I sat in my car texting a friend about the nightmare I was trapped in. When he came back, he started driving through random neighborhoods and kept pointing out secluded houses he liked, talking about which ones he could see himself living in. It was so creepy. We finally got back to the main street, and again, he randomly turned off and almost hit a pole. I asked him what was he doing. He said, "I'm sorry, I'm impulsive." Then launched into this whole monologue about his dangerous lifestyle. He had not asked me a single thing about myself the entire time. He just kept talking about himself. At this point, I was so over it. So I tried to steer the vibe back to my house. I thought he got the hint when we were near my place. But then he randomly noticed a clock on the side of a Wegmans and he said, "Whoa, that's cool. I want to go see that." I said, "Yeah, I live near it. Obviously, I've been there." And he said, "Okay, smartass," and laughed. I didn't laugh because it was just wasn't funny. He parked in an empty Wegmans parking lot. What the heck is a Wegman?
No, a store? Wagman. It is a store, like a grocery store.
Yeah. He parked in an empty Wegmans parking lot and took off his seatbelt, moved his seat back, and kept giving me that, "Look, guys, give you when they want to kiss you." I was on my phone messing with my vape, scrolling to make it very clear that it wasn't happening. Then he randomly said, "Okay, tell me about yourself." And I said, "Okay, ask questions." He just sat there in silence and said, "You clearly want to go home." I thought finally he got the message. I raised my hands and said, "Yeah, sure, whatever." But instead of taking me home, he started asking me questions again, so I was trapped yet again. Told him about my college plans, and then he started asking where my family is from and what my last name is. He then went on an entire rant about Nigerians are evil and how I must be toxic. The whole thing felt weird. I think I've mentally blocked out some of the parts because it was so uncomfortable. Eventually, I said I was getting tired, and he finally agreed to take me home. But instead of going the normal way, he took the longest route possible, then missed the turn on purpose. I pointed out, he said, "Fuck, okay," then turned around. We finally got to my house, and just as soon as I was about to leave, he parked and pulled his seat back again. I just sat there, trying not to show any fear, because I really did not want him to touch me. He kept looking at me, clearly wanting to kiss, but I didn't even look at him. Then somehow he started talking about Palestine and Israel, which I'm interested in because it's obviously a heartbreaking conflict. But then he started blaming Jews for everything, saying that they run all the banks, basically controlling the entire world. I asked him if he blamed all Jews because that's what it sounded like. He said no, but kept going with more conspiracies. He said his family had escaped Egypt, and I said I was sorry. He kept looking at me, wanting to kiss, and I just refused to look back. Then he wanted to show me his ancient scripture of the Israelite laws and pointed to something that claimed the age of consent was 3.5 years old. Mind you, he idolizes Kanye, was wearing Yeezys, talking about how Jews are evil and all should die. I asked him, has he met a real Jewish person and spoke to them? All he said was, "Yeah, I work at a car dealership and they're all greedy and cheap," and proceeded to burst out laughing. I just froze, thinking this cannot be real. That's when I said, "Okay, well, I really have to go," and tried to play it out casually so he wouldn't touch me. I said we can hang out tomorrow, and he said, "Okay, 4 p.m., are you free?" I lied and I said I checked my work schedule. I pretended to check and say, yay, that works. I told him to text me when he got home and dashed out of the car like my life depended on it. The second I got inside, I texted my friend, made sure he wasn't following me. He and I immediately blocked him on Tinder and Instagram. I don't know what a kind of person thinks that is appropriate on a first date, but I hope I never cross paths with him again. They made some edits, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you talk.
All of that was a wild ride and terrifying. Like, that sounds so scary. Like, all of it. Every single thing he did, all of it terrifying. Like, from the killing, like, trying to say, oh, I'm gonna kill us, ruckus, you know? And, like, just all of it. All of it is crazy.
Would have been absolutely terrified. I would have felt the exact same way she felt. I would have been like, I would have been like, oh my god, I have the worst headache ever. Like, I really need you to take me home. Like, my head's throbbing. Or, oh my god, my mom just got in a car wreck. I need you to take me to the house. Like, something. Like, I need to get the fuck out of your car. I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah. Something to protect yourself. Like, I know it's like, you shouldn't lie, but like, make something up at that point because your life could have been very much, I mean, it was at stake, and that is terrifying.
I agree with you. Like, don't lie, but like also your safety is more important.
Exactly. At that point, lie your head off because men like that, or anyone, I'm not saying just men, like men, women, they can be that crazy. And when they are in a state of mind like that, it is best to like not poke the bear and make them like let me get out right now, and like scream and stuff, because that's gonna make them like high alert and get more crazy. So it's definitely best to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, like I want to hang out again, like I just have to leave right now, you know what I mean? And then never speak to them again.
I'm so glad. I was at first stunned that she was even saying let's hang out again. Also, okay, a few things. First date, you never let them pick you up from your house.
Yep.
Because then they know where you live.
Yeah, which is
Second
terrifying.
mistake, having nothing on you. 3, not having a backup plan.
So
I've,
many.
yeah, I've like shared my location just going somewhere like publicly, like by myself, not even like for like past dates or whatever. There was like
Same.
one date I went to and I literally shared my location with Shay because I was terrified. I mean, like, I wasn't terrified, but I was
Yes.
also terrified, like, because you're by
It's
yourself.
safety, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Don't
safety. Men or women, do it. Like, share your location with someone you trust.
Yes, and I wish that this person did that. Um, and like even if you're hanging out with like a new friend like from Bumble, like it doesn't just go for relationships, it can go for anybody. Like if you're going by
Yeah.
yourself and you know it's uneasy and you're meeting a stranger for the first time, please like let someone know where you're going, share your location, give them all the details because you just never know.
Yes, better to be safe than sorry.
For sure.
You say you had updates, or that was.
Oh, sorry. She just made an edit. She said, "Hi, thank you so much for reading the criticism. I understand how some of you feel. This is my fault because of the red flags, and yet I still stayed. I want you to know a few things. I did tell him he's acting strange. He apologized and then kept acting crazy. 2, I know he can't read my mind, and I agree, so I will take accountability for this. 3, I will keep note and always meet in public and not share my address. I live in an apartment complex and told him to meet me in a different building than mine, so he does not know which floor or door I live. Okay. When I said he led me on, we planned to meet up multiple times, but he usually slept on me or ran out of time. 5, I understand I need to learn how to speak up and be more confident. I should have demanded him to take me home, but at that point, I genuinely felt like he would have done something because of how much of a maniac he seemed. But he was swerving and laughing. I loudly said stop, and I didn't like that at point where we were already 20 minutes away from my house, and he apologized. 6, I did check Uber prices, and they were $50, hence I felt trapped. So, he also did another edit. Um, saying I'm super neurodivergent, autistic, so please understand where I'm coming from when I say I couldn't defend or speak up for myself. Fuck y'all for making her feel bad in the comments because she's just a person and she should not be terrified. Like, this is again where, like, yes, she should be more aware, but like, don't shame her, just give her guidance.
Yeah, literally, fuck y'all, because that is not okay. She, like, obviously, she understands now the severity of it. Once she's out of it, you don't understand how you're gonna react or the things to do until you're in a situation like that. So it pays to be kind and just understand that people have things that happen to them and that they can learn from it, and your kind words can help them, but being kind is what is most important. Belittling someone and making them feel bad because they didn't react in a situation how you thought they needed to, that is not okay. You don't know how you would react in a situation until you are in the situation.
So this person commented, to me, this comment is a little harsh, but it's one of those like you're honest enough to where like it's guidance. So this person said, before even reading the past the first paragraph, I realized some things. You're obviously good at recognizing red flags. In that first paragraph, you noticed he looked strange, didn't really look like his photos, didn't have a plan, and made you uncomfortable. Your intuition told you something was off and you didn't listen. Trust your instincts and get out of the situation while you're still in a public setting. Sometimes these situations can be avoided. Now, to me, this does sound like criticism, but it sounds like constructive criticism to where it can help her in the future of trust
Yeah.
yourself, trust your instinct.
Yes. Constructive criticism is good because, you know, sometimes some people need a little bit harsh reality because some people are too trusting. And it can prevent someone going through the same thing in the future, or someone even just reading this, not necessarily the OP, but like someone reading it can say, hey, I need to trust my gut and do this in a public setting and yada yada, never be picked up at the house or anywhere you live. Because even if you said, oh, like he picked me up but he didn't know what building I was in or apartment, he knows what you look like and he can stalk you and figure that out very quickly. All he needs to know is what location he pretty much picked you up from, and sit there and watch until he's following you in your apartment when you least expect it. You know what I mean?
Very true. He has a general idea of where you live.
Yes. It's terrifying. That's why you meet somewhere public, like a coffee shop or restaurant or anything. You know what I mean? Somewhere where there's a lot of people around, so you're not gonna get taken. I don't even mean like some people like, oh, I'm gonna meet in a parking lot. Someone could take you quick and put you in their car, and no one's gonna know. Like meet inside somewhere where there's a lot of people. You know what I
What
mean?
I don't understand is having someone that you've never met before pick you up for the first time in their car. They could just pick you up and take you away.
Exactly. It's terrifying. Be safer out there. Everyone. Women, men, I don't care who you are. There are crazy people in the world, and y'all have got to protect yourselves and keep yourselves safe. And I understand first dates are cool. Most of them, you know, they're pretty good. They go well. You meet someone cool, but then like other ones can be terrifying because some of these people don't have good intentions and they are literally on these dating apps or are trying to date to harm others. So you just need to be careful out there. Take precautions.
100%.
Okay, so this one is actually coming from our Reddit, and we actually got a private message. So really appreciate this person reaching out and letting us know their story.
Whoop, whoop.
Yay! I love it. Okay, so hello, here is my horrible dating story I wasn't able to post in the Bumble thread. Thank you for asking this. Met on Bumble May 2025. Me, male, mid 40s, her, female, 40. Third date, no intimacy other than a bit of kissing. End of date 1. Date 2, super fun, long bike ride with intermittent drinks, but not a lot of space for touching slash physical connection. The idea was go for a hike, then get food in the small town near the trailhead. We met at a parking spot on the way to the hike, then I drive the rest of the way. All was great. Get to the trailhead, it's raining, and this is a steep hike. She, female 40, is recovering from a knee injury. I suggest an easier hike just down the road. She really wants to do this one. I'm impressed with her spunk, and we go. We crush it. Talk the whole way. We're both impressed with each other's physical condition. She is a trauma psychologist. She asked me on the hike about recent deaths in my family. She gave me space to talk about it. I was appreciative and said so. Back to the car, we high five, stop for a coffee, and she suggests heading back to the city, changing, and going for dinner. I love the idea. She's texting me between dropping her at her car and meeting for dinner. We meet for dinner. She looks lovely. I compliment her. Great dinner. We have some sake. I asked if she wants to go dancing. She said she'd prefer to go for a drink at a bar that opened recently near the restaurant. I'm thrilled. Met at the bar, having a great time. 2 drinks then, she goes to the washroom. I don't know what happened, but in the washroom, she turned evil and must have decided she hated me. She came back to the table and began interrogating me about something I'd said on the hike that apparently bothered her. I tried to deflect, even admitted that in the moment I internally thought it wasn't the best thing to say. I mentioned people comment a lot on my appearance, which bothers me. I understood after I said it that it could be interpreted as bragging about my appearance, which was not the intention. I think I'm a goofball and don't understand why people comment about me so often. I reminded her that we were at this bar. She could have ended the date after the hike or after dinner if what I said bothered her so much. She clearly interpreted it the wrong way and even began exaggerating what I'd said on the hike. Then she exaggerated other things I'd said at dinner in a negative way and mocked my description of my love language when I said understanding. I feel offering and receiving understanding in a relationship is critical. I do offer it and I do seek it. Then she said that the stuff about my discussing how people comment on my appearance was a red flag, and that I'd try to stop her from doing the hike when I let her know it was cool to do the easier hike if she was worried about her injury and slippery conditions from the rain. I couldn't take it anymore. I went into fight or flight mode and clearly wasn't going to fight, so I stood up, said, "We are not a fit, you can pay for the drinks," and left. In parentheses, I had paid for dinner, so it didn't feel like I was stiffing her on the bill. I get in my car, furious, and start driving. Bad idea. Made it home, no problem, but bad idea. We had a few texts after expressing our mutual shock at what happened. She had no self awareness, even though I tried to explain I had no desire to leave. I was really enjoying the date and was drunk and wanted to continue hanging with her, but she made it impossible, but decided to let it go. I'm still bummed 2 months later. I can't believe that happened. Here's text from right after I walked out. So she texted, "I can't believe you just did this." He said, "You're not interested in me and you don't care about me." She said, "I was interested in you and tried to share with you something that bothered me, something that means a lot to me, and your response of getting that upset and walking out on me just showed that we wouldn't be compatible. Something I would never do to another human, but that's okay." He said, "You were abusing me and I was not going to sit and be abused by you any longer. I will not spend another moment being abused by a woman." And then she said, "I'm speechless to read that accusation of me. Sorry to hear you were abused by a previous woman, and even more sorry you interpret our conversation as," and I think I can't see anything else. I think that was the only photo. Hang on, bear with me. Yeah, it was the only photo. Um, and then they also sent a photo of their Bumble account showing that, they do pretty well. But that's the gist of it. They did send a receipt, so thought that was cool to see.
Yeah, we got someone that actually like DM'd us. I thought it was really neat too. If you're listening, person who DM'd us, feel free to comment, say hi. Obviously, you don't have to, but we'd like to know that you heard the episode.
Yes, absolutely. And honestly, that is crazy how she treated you. Like, I would definitely not sit there and take that because, for one, like, y'all were fine on the hike, fine at dinner, fine, like, before and everything. Like, she agreed to go out to dinner, agreed to continue to go to the bar, and, like, then goes to the bathroom and, like, has some breakdown. Like, that is wild. If she had a problem with it, I don't think she would have went to dinner or anything. Clearly, I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem like you did anything wrong. You were just talking and expressing your feelings, which you're allowed to do on a date, for one. And if she wants to take it and twist words, then she must be a little, I want to say a little loony bin, but she might be a little crazy, and you might have
Oh,
dodged a
kooky.
bullet. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
yeah, reading
yeah,
this
reading this
or hearing you read it,
Mhm.
Shay, I definitely got that vibe of like after the whole bathroom thing, I wonder if she like called someone or texted someone. I'm like, she had to have been like texting somebody about this, or like told someone, and they probably were like, yeah, that was kind of like nuts. I don't know because from her to go like completely fine that entire time and then come back from the bathroom and like 180 is super weird. So, um, like Shay said, I think you dodged a bullet definitely. And
Yeah,
um like she knew if it bothered her so much she could have left the hike. Also, it sounded like she was trying to make you feel bad for the hike that you chose even though you guys agreed on it.
yeah, like, if she had a knee injury and you were trying to be nice and say, "Hey, I understand you have this knee injury. Like, if we can go on an easier trail if you'd like," that's you being polite, and her being like, "Oh my gosh, like, you thought I needed the easier trail." Like, that's her own, like, insecurity or whatever. That shouldn't be pinned upon you because you seem like a good guy that is just trying to care about someone else, and some people take that the wrong way. Clearly she did. And that's an interesting topic, Jill, that you said, like, or is interesting that you brought up saying she might have been texting someone and then they got her riled up, like, oh my gosh, that's a red flag. You know, you're texting your bestie and then they like get you all riled up about something
That's the
you
vibe
didn't
I
even think
definitely
of.
got when hearing you read
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So crazy you dodged a bullet. Thankfully, I know you probably, you had a great time and missed that connection. But it's definitely a good misconnection, it sounds like, because she seemed a bit crazy. Could be wrong. Maybe she just got in her feelings about something and was listening to her friends. Maybe in the future, I don't know. I don't know if you want her to come back around. But if not, at least you're still getting out there and not letting that stop you. So kudos to you.
All right, guys, this last story, we're doing pretty good on time. So, see that? Okay, hold on to your shoes because the title of this is wild and the story is lengthy, okay? So, um
Shoes. Hold
me
on.
and Shade, huh?
He said, hold on to your shoes. I've never heard of that.
Okay. My ex wanted to lock a homeless woman in his basement and told me this on a date. So I started dating this guy I met on Tinder. For context, I was 28 female and he was also 28. He works in finance at first. He seemed like a pretty normal, attentive guy. He showed a lot of interest in me, went on several dates. As the time went by, we started seeing each other more and more. He'd bring me flowers, he was sweet, and I could tell he was into me. That part I liked, but I wasn't 100% sure about him from the start because we were pretty different in many ways. Still, I thought, well, I don't need someone who's exactly like me, and I wanted to give it a shot. I was always honest with him about that. I told him I wasn't sure if we were compatible long term, and he said he understood, but wanted to see where things went. After a while of dating, I started to notice he had different sexual preferences. He told me he was really into anal sex, like to the point of saying it was almost a deal breaker for him if his partner didn't want to do it. I had done it before, but it really wasn't my favorite thing, and I told him that. I said I wasn't comfortable doing it all the time, but I was open to trying it again occasionally. And he started telling me more about his kinks. He was into BDSM, that he was a sadist. He also told me he's gone to swinger clubs before and that he had a pretty intense sexual history. I'm not new to experimenting sexually, but this was kind of a next level for me, especially the part about him being a sadist. who liked inflicting pain on people. What really freaked me out is when he told me there had been times where someone he had said stop and he didn't, but that this had been within the boundaries of consensual play. Even if that's what he said, it gave me a really bad vibe. Maybe I'm just being judgmental, but something just didn't feel right. The moment things truly unraveled was one night we went out for drinks. He rarely drank. Like, I only seen him have a super light once before, so it was really unusual. We went to this low lit cocktail bar, kind of romantic, and started talking more openly. I was curious about his sexual side, especially because he said he wasn't sure where it came from. For context, he's adopted and never met his biological parents, and wondered if maybe it came from something in his past, like maybe his mother had been. Oh my gosh. Um, I'm gonna say sexually assaulted because that's crazy. I'm sorry, I'm stunned. So he's saying that maybe his sexual thing came from his mom, his birth mom's sexual assault. Maybe that's how it affected him. I'm flabbergasted by that sentence, but anyway.
What?
Yes. Then he told me he had a major fantasy about abuse, specifically abusing others, and not in a roleplay kind of way. He told me this was his biggest fantasy. For me, I had fantasies about being dominated too, but always from the perspective of being submissive when not the aggressor. The fact that this was his main fantasy really unsettled me. He said he had acted on it before, but with consent. So I asked him, what's the strongest fantasy you've ever had? And this is where things got really disturbing. He said that in his country, there had been a big wave of immigration a few years back, and he used to see a lot of immigrants living on the streets. He said one day he started fantasizing about taking a homeless woman off the street, bringing her into his house, locking her in a basement, and doing whatever he wanted to her. When he said that, I was literally in shock. I'm a big true crime fan. I read Reddit stories, I watch videos on this kind of stuff, but hearing someone say that to me in real life and knowing he genuinely wanted that was a whole other level. It felt like I was talking to a serial killer. And the fact that he worked in finance just added to the Patrick Bateman vibes. Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. I asked him, wait, but you actually didn't do it, right? Because you know it's wrong. And he said, yeah, I know it's wrong, but the reason I didn't do it was because I was afraid of getting caught and ruining my life, not because I didn't want to do it. At that point, I didn't even know what to say. I was in total shock. I felt really uncomfortable because I could tell he was dead serious. The worst part of the worst part of it all, on paper, he seemed completely normal. Like he had a good job, friends, whatever he looked like, a regular life. And supposedly, he'd never done anything illegal. According to him, everything he did was consensual with the people who were into it too. But I couldn't shake the feeling that if he could do something illegal and get away with it, he absolutely would. It felt like the purge, you know? Like if there were no consequences, he wouldn't hesitate. And every time he stayed over at my place, I couldn't stop this feeling that he would do something to me. He even told me that his fantasies about having sex with me while I was asleep, stuff. This is crazy. To be clear, he never did anything without my consent. Everything we did was consensual and experimented with a few things. But I still couldn't get rid of that feeling that the only reason he wasn't doing something darker was because of the legal consequences, not because he had moral issues with it. That was really hard for me to process. And part of it felt like but part of me felt conflicted because I've had a dark or messed up fantasies too. I'm not perfect or morally superior, but none of my fantasies ever involved doing something extreme to someone else. They were always about me, not about him, not about harm to someone in a severe degrading way. His stories were so intense. The BDSM, the sadism, the whole fixation he had with those themes, it just wasn't something he liked. I felt like it was a part of who he was. And even though he had clearly explored a lot of it, there was just still things he held back from doing, not because he didn't want to, because he didn't want to deal with the consequences. In the end, that was the real deal breaker for me. I stopped seeing him. It blew my mind that this guy was walking around acting like a sweet, gentle, and even a naive person, and yet had the most disturbing sexual desires experiences I've ever heard of. I've dated quite a few people, and nothing has ever came close to this. Again, he never val- sorry. Again, he never violated my consent, but I could never fully trust him. That was the main reason why I ended things. Funny enough, I was reminded of all of this today because he popped up on Hinge. I guess he saw my profile and I had a picture up that he actually taken of me. He sent a rose to that photo, probably as a way of trying to reconnect, or maybe he took it and recognized it. There's some edits, but I'm flabbergasted.
My jaw was on the floor the entire time. Like, I thought it could get worse, possibly. Yeah, it just kept getting worse.
But yeah, I have a lead for you.
Truly. And like, I'm all about like people, like if you have kinks, whatever, you do you. If y'all are consenting people and that's what y'all like, whatever. But taking it to the level of when he said like he wanted to do harm to people purposefully, and also the homeless lady was a scary red flag, and I'm not exactly quite sure why after that was said why the OP didn't leave, because I would be running out of that bitch. Because if someone's comfortable to say that to you, like I want to take her, the only reason I didn't, because basically I didn't want to get in trouble, not because I cared about that person or don't want to harm anyone. That is terrifying.
I was so flabbergasted, like, reading the story. Like, there was moments where I had to pause and process, like, should I keep reading? Like, and my thing is how long did they date for? Like,
That's what I'm wondering.
it's not like they dated for a little bit. It's like it sounds like they dated for, she's like, he slept at my house. Girl, if he told me that, done. No way.
Yeah, and then she was like, I was worried he was gonna do something to me while I slept, but never did. Like, if you were worried, that why in the earth would you let him continuously come over
And
and
see,
sleep?
this is where I'm okay with making people feel bad. This is actually neglecting, like, neglectful, right?
Yeah.
To me, like, people should be in the comments jumping her shit.
Yes. Cause what do you mean? Like, I understand if you felt scared and you were too scared to leave it because you thought he would do something to you, but it sounded like most of the time you didn't really take him seriously, but now it's like sitting with your conscience and it's gotten to you. But like if you're fearful and then someone says something like that to you, run, because guess what? If you're the next victim, what are you going to do? He's already told you everything and you're still choosing to like sit here, which any victim, doesn't matter. No one deserves anything like that ever. People are messed up. He is messed up. But like continuously putting yourself in that situation and to be around a person that thinks like that is terrifying. Like terrifying. I keep saying terrifying because I don't even know what to say actually.
It
I'm
did
just
give it really did give uh Pat Bateman? That
I don't know who that is.
that's his name. She just said it. Yeah, so there's a movie, um it's called American Psycho. And basically he's like a businessman, but like he like lures hot women and then just murders them. But he looks like Google the movie. It's Christian Bale. He's the one who plays in Batman, like the Dark Knight and stuff. He is like 100% a hottie, and you wouldn't expect him to be a murderer. Does it make sense? And that's what she was comparing him to.
Oh, what's it called?
American Psycho.
Oh, it's I'd never seen it. It reminds me of that. Who was that serial killer that everyone thought looked good? Ted Bundy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of makes you think of like the Ted Bundy stuff, the story.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I know he didn't kill nobody, but like, what are you gonna do with the homeless one? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, the homeless woman and telling somebody that willingly.
I mean, it's terrifying. I'm serious, and like I said, I understand people have kinks, fantasies, whatever. But to say like you're gonna harm someone, like someone off the street, and you considered it highly until you figured out, oh, I might get caught, like the consequences of that, brother. What?
Sometimes you just don't let the intrusive thoughts win. You,
Yeah, like
like, bro, you just it's inhumane and it's crazy.
yes, yes. I mean, and like I said, to her sticking with that guy for so long, like I said, I understand if she was scared and like it was a situation like that. But from what we know right now, it doesn't seem like that. So I could be wrong. Maybe the edits say something else, but
Let me check. He said I already closed it up. Oops.
said she was gonna give us edits and then didn't.
Sorry. I don't even know how to go back. I don't have it. Oh wait,
No
no, I
worries.
do. I was in the comments, that's why. Something else worth mentioning. This guy once told me that his friends used to tease him for always dating crazy girls. He said he always ended up with a woman who had some kind of issue, like one of his exes had schizophrenia and many past traumas or mental health struggles. Claimed it's because he liked people with depth or stories and that he found them more interesting. At the time, I kind of related. 'Cause I've had my own mental health journey. I'm neurodivergent, and I thought maybe he just liked people who have lived through things, but now looking back and I'm thinking about it, everything he told me was is how he acted, and I realized it's something way darker. It wasn't that he liked people with stories, he liked the vulnerable women, like people who were easier to manipulate or push boundaries with. And I think that he thought he could do that with me too. He just packaged it all in one poetic nonsense about liking complicated people when really he was a psychiatric history, which honestly makes the whole thing even more disturbing and sickening.
Yeah, I was gonna say like through that, I was like he clearly is looking for a type of person that I don't to take advantage of. Really, that's scary. I'm not gonna
I did
lie.
not clock that until she said that, and that's actually like something that I've kind of experienced, not to this degree, but like bonding over problems and then like them feeling like that's what they have to do, right? And that's not how you build a relationship. And you her dating him, staying with him to me is nuts. Like through that, crazy.
Literally, that's why I was like, I understand if she, felt scared or was going through something, but to me, it didn't seem like that. Um, Again, I could be wrong, but if as soon as someone told me that I was dating about the homeless woman, like everything else is crazy. It is. Everything you said is crazy. But then to hear someone's thoughts that they acted out in their head that they really wanted to do is terrifying. Like, and it's not like some at that point it's taken it to the extreme crime territory. And if he thought about it once, he's thought about it many times, and the fact that he's telling you could be a step closer to him actually committing the crime because he got it out and told someone. So, feels comfortable enough to do that. Like, what?
I also was gonna say, like, if he's willing to admit it, like, you don't think he's not willing to do it to you or think about that stuff about you?
Yeah, seriously. Like, I'm glad she got away now, but staying to me is just gonna always ring me crazy because I don't get why she stayed. Like, I get you like the allure of him and the fantasy and stuff like that because you're into that as well, but that is taking the fantasy to real
A
territory.
new level, terrifying level, murderous level, actually.
Yeah, first assault, then murder. I mean, it's endless. I know
Yeah.
we're going over the edge, but we're really not because that is a terrifying individual. And this is why you should be careful getting in the car with random people.
Yeah.
Even if this was a woman, there are women and men that think the same things. I know you don't think that. I know you think it's like a stereotypical like thing that a guy could do, but guys, like even if you're dating the same like gender, just be careful. Like seriously, out there are crazy individual people. Like they're crazy people. You never know who's out there. You never know who's on Bumble, Tinder, Hinge. Like you don't know who these people are, so it's better to be safe than sorry.
Hinge,
And
more like unhinge.
I that is the name of this episode. You did it. I love it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I
Yeah,
love it.
moral of these stories, guys, is let people know where you are. Don't date crazy motherfuckers, especially if they tell you about their crazy little kinks about homeless women. Nuts. Um, Literally keep like pepper spray, gun, knife, what something on you. Let people know where you're going. Um, Always be aware of your surroundings, always have an emergency contact. Like, if you're going out for a date, don't set yourself up to where no one can come and get you, especially if you don't have a ride. Make sure you have an alternative backup plan.
Yes, well said. Backup plan, location sharing, bringing your own vehicle if you have one, and also meeting in a public place. And also maybe FaceTiming and making sure they are who they say they are before the date, because that could save you a lot, like that guy that got stalked. So don't um don't put it past people because people are crazy.
Well said. I agree with the FaceTiming.
Yeah. It is. I mean, in this day and age, there's no one that has an excuse. And if they say, "Oh, my camera doesn't work," call Neve from Catfish. I don't know what to tell you. Like, bestie, they something ain't right. Something is not right. This is 2025. There's no reason for all this shit. Um,
Period.
really, the three things you should take away: protect your peace, trust nobody, and maybe just stay single.
The trust nobody and stay single is actually crazy. Aiden?
Trust nobody, stay single. I mean, you know, I'm just messing with y'all. But truly, don't trust random people on the internet. And even if you've met this person at a bar or at a hockey game or whatever, just how about you find out who they are first before going in their car with them and driving off into the sunset or the woods.
Dude, the first story that you read about the hotel, stay safe, stay hydrated, stay alert. Just don't put yourself in silly situations. Um, I just want to say, whoop whoop, we gained one extra follower. We're at 29 on Spotify. I don't know our Apple count, but I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has been listening to us, especially since November. That's when we started. We really picked up back in March of this year, and we have just really been pumping out episodes once a week, and I'm just really proud of me and Shay, and I'm also really proud of you guys because the stories that some of y'all provide and people that have been attentive and that listen, I just think it's so sweet. And I would love to see like a little more engagement from you guys on like TikTok or something because I know me and Shay love to hear from y'all. So we just love to hear more of your personal stories and uh, your comments, your feedback, and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like without you guys, like we wouldn't be able to do the show how we do it, and I'm so appreciative to each and every one of you. I know that right now like 29 on Spotify may not sound like a lot to you guys, but to us that is 29 people that sit there and support us. And even as we grow, because I know we're going to continuously grow, but even as we grow, the numbers like to me, even one person listening and keeping up with us is it just means the world to us. Honestly, we're thankful for each and every one of you, no matter how big we get, how small we are right now. We're just thankful for you guys. Any engagement would be definitely appreciated. If you want to comment, we would love to hear from you. If you want to give us any stories or if you need advice, I want you guys to remember that we are here to be literally your best friend. We are your best friend. We want to give you advice if you need it. We never want anyone to feel lonely in this world because some people don't have friends or some people have people in their lives but they don't feel like they can talk to them or they need an unbiased opinion. We're always here and we're going to always try our best to help you. And yeah, sometimes that's with hard love, harsh truth, but sometimes it is also with a listening kind ear and a kind heart that we will come to you as well because we want you to get through any situation that you're going through. And we love to help out anyone we can. So just keep that in mind. And we just love you guys so much. And we are truly so forever thankful for all of you.
Yes, exactly what Shay said. We love giving you guys advice. I mean, we're not perfect people, but we definitely want to help where we can. And I remember when I first started on YouTube when I was like 13 and I had like 25 subs. It was super small and I still occasionally post here and there, but I hit like 500 subs at one point in 2020 and I was over the moon. I never even thought I would see 500 people and having like 24 people watching my live at once. I was shocked, right? Like I was playing Ark and I was playing uh, Rainbow Six Siege and I was playing Minecraft, and I would just never expect to have such an attentive audience. So, like, that growth is possible. And the same thing, like, on my TikTok, I was posting every day and I like a lot of engagement on my art. So, it is possible. And I'm super excited to see where me and Shay can take the podcast. We love to yap, we love to talk at night. It's like our jam. So we just wanted to translate that with you guys and read like these Reddit stories, read your stories. And we even have, I know I teased it a few episodes ago, we do have content coming up that is not Reddit related, and we think it's going to be fantastic. So just tune in for that.
Yes, I'm super excited about the new content coming. I hope it'll be a big hit. We are definitely going to be teasing it here in the next few weeks on social media. So if you're not already following, our link tree is down in the description um of the episodes. Every episode that we do, I am now providing our link tree. So it's a way for you guys to get to our links a little bit easier and all of our stuff is in one place. I want to do that for you guys because I feel like it will be an easier way for you to find every one of our social media platforms. So definitely check that out. Follow us on there so you can stay up to date on everything we do. We're definitely wanting to hear your feedback and what you guys have to say because what you guys want to hear is very important to us. Of course, we're always going to talk about the topics that we believe are important and that we think we should get out there. Like reading stories on Reddit, like I know it's cool, it's fun, but a lot of the times the topics aren't necessary to talk about and it's what actual people need advice on and need to hear. Even if it's not the OP of the story, like someone out there could be going through a similar situation and need to hear it. So we would love feedback, anything that you can provide. Um yeah, and we also have a very special side project coming. Can't tell you when yet, but can't tell you what it is either. You'll just have to wait and continue to follow along. But we're just forever grateful for you guys.
Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you guys want to hear more dating horror stories, let us know.
Yes, we love you so much and good night.
Bye.